Loading Down Phoenix show coming at you live.
So guys, welcome to the Down Phoenix show. We are doing a second time of doing a live game review. This is the very first time doing a live review, but this is the second attempt, if that makes any sense. The reason why there's two attempts is because I was not 100% satisfied with the way things have went. So just hear me guys out. But anyways, let's go ahead and start talking about this game, High Hell. This is a game that I highly recommend. How are you doing tonight, Puck15? Haven't heard from you in a long time. Maybe we can have a little chat afterwards. Anyway, so what is High Hell? High Hell is one of the latest games that's been brought to us by Devoler Digital, which is, bar none, one of my favorite game publishers. And one of the reasons why Devoler is so kick-ass is because they love to put out games that are just balls to the walls insane and a lot of fun, unapologetic about their design. They know exactly what they want to be. And High Hell is that kind of game, but I want you guys to understand as I go through this here. So High Hell is developed by Terri Vellman. So he also made a game called Heavy Bullets on Steam. This was a randomly generated first-person shooter, a roguelike if you will. And High Hell is not like that at all. This game has a much more focused design. Basically, the best way I can describe this game is if the FPS genre was made in the middle of the 80s, but with like the tech that we have nowadays, High Hell would be amongst the first of those games. See, this game has a very crazy arcade style to it. It's all about points. It's all about time. That's all this game is about. It's just a fast-paced and frantic game. How are you doing, Kamikaze? Nice to see you up in here. But anyways, let's talk a little bit more about High Hell. So this game, as you see, the graphical style is very neat and clean, and I want to show you guys just a quick little clip as I talk it through. This is just the very first real mission of the game. It gives you an objective that's simple. You go in here, you kick down doors, blast guys, and you just have a lot of fun doing this entire little thing. You know, it's a really fast-paced and hectic game, but I'm kind of flabbergasted, honestly, trying to describe this game. It's just so much insanity on the screen at once. It's just a great time. So I want to talk about how this game works, essentially. So in High Hell, this game, like I said, it's an arcade-style first-person shooter. And essentially, the objective of the game is to accomplish whatever the mission objective is as quickly as you can, killing enemies, burning money, kicking down doors, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. And you want to, of course, accomplish it as quickly as you can, as well as getting the highest score that you can, which, of course, sometimes goes into some sub-objectives in some of the later missions. So like I said, this game has a lot of replayability. Like I said, I didn't say that before, but it does have a lot of replayability because this game will constantly test you trying to get better and better at the game. But if you're the kind of person that just wants to play the game through, it's a very short experience. If you're someone that loves games with a lot of longevity for one playthrough, this is probably not the game for you, because it literally took me less than an hour and a half to go through this game from start to finish. Because there's only 20 missions, and the average mission to complete it takes anywhere from 20 seconds to maybe 2.5 minutes tops. The missions are extremely short and focused in their design, so you're not going to have to worry about getting lost in a stage or anything crazy like that. There's not any complex objectives. The objectives are very simplified and explains exactly what you have to do at the beginning of the mission. So if you're someone that has to have that longevity, this is not going to be the game for you, unfortunately. But that being said, if you're someone that likes arcade type of gameplay, if you like arcade games where you're constantly challenged to score higher, do better each playthrough, this might be the game for you. Let me go ahead and talk about some of the other aesthetics and things like that. As you can see with the graphical style that we have in High Hell, it's got a very clean and neat look to it. There's no texture mapping or anything like that. Everything is super flat shaded. As you saw, I died instantly and you saw the R key flash. That's because this game reminds me of Hotline Miami, which is another game that had awesome aesthetics and design and the way that the graphics looked. But of course, you know, that was a completely different story. Wait, I have just the intro screen. What are you talking about? Let me check the thing real quick here.
A live review, but this is the second.
Okay. No. Okay. That's old news. Okay, you threw me off there, Kamikaze. But anyways, as far as High Hell is concerned, the graphical style is very neat. I love the look of it. It reminds me of early 2000s cel-shaded looks. You know, games like Jet Set Radio and 13. You know, that FPS game they had on like PS2 and Xbox that was like all cel-shaded and kind of cool looking, you know, kind of like a graphic novel in a way. That's what this game has the style and appearance of. And as a result, of course, this game will run just about on anything that you can throw at it. I mean, I have kind of a measly graphics card. It's only an R9 360. It's a Radeon HD R9 360. Just came with the computer. I run this game at 1080p at 60 frames a second without any frame drops, and that's even with capturing footage. So this game is going to run beautifully on just about any modern PC. Unfortunately, it's not on consoles. You can't see what you're describing. I mean, I've got a window down here, you know, that shows some gameplay footage. But anyways, as far as the music of this game, the music of this game is fantastic. It's not as... I mean, like I mentioned before, I compared this game to Hotline Miami, which is another Devoler Digital game. And that's really the closest that I can distill this game into a single game is Hotline Miami. That's the closest that I can say that this game resembles. But even still, it has a lot of differences as well. For example... Okay, let's talk about the music again. This is a live show, guys. This is live. I'm trying to figure things out. You know, I get kind of scatterbrained. I kind of skip around and all that good stuff. That's what's great about doing things live. So let's talk about the music, because it's got a really catchy techno style to it that is really neat and lively. You know, it's something that really complements the look of the game very well. It has a very futuristic tone to it. And so I really enjoy the music. The music, of course, is... it's actually composed by Doze One, who also composed music for Heavy Bullets as well. So, you know, they have some history, Terri Vellman and Doze One. They like working together, and that's really cool. It's really cool to see that kind of dynamic between developer and composer, you know, because, you know, music can really help into the environment of a game. It can really lend a lot of viability into a game. And it really helps with this game, just like it did with Hotline Miami. Hotline Miami probably wouldn't have been as strong of a game had it not been for the amazing soundtrack. And so I have to give props to the excellent music in this game. It is a fantastic score, and I'm surprised that nobody on YouTube's uploaded a soundtrack playlist yet. Where are you guys at on that? I don't know. Maybe the music gets copyrighted or something. Maybe that's why that's the case. But anyways... So let's talk about the gameplay a little bit more in detail. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of a boss fight here. This is one of the boss fights that you encounter in the game. There's a few different ones. But anyways, in this particular boss fight, you know, I'm shooting this giant robot. You have to kind of like hit him in that weak point in the back or whatever. But anyways, the game is very, very simple. This is a super simple game. It boils down to one weapon. You only have one weapon and your kick. Those are the only types of offense that you have in the game. And the amount of buttons you use is super simple as well. You use the WASD keys, you use E, you use R, you use space, and then the left and right mouse button. That's it. It's crazy to think of how simple the gameplay is, because even like an old school FPS game like Wolfenstein 3D uses more buttons than this. So that's really interesting to see a game that really boils it down to almost the bare bones mechanics. Like, they can, what can they really do? Remove like 1 or 2 more buttons, and then you have pretty much the most basic FPS possible. It's really interesting to see how this game has been designed, but I really enjoy the simplicity of this game. It knows exactly what it is, which is a fun and frantic arcade experience. Like practically nothing else I've seen, guys. I really highly recommend High Hell if you like what you see. Exactly. And, I mean, a lot of people might complain about the price. Oh, $10 for a game that you can beat in an hour or 2. Yeah, that's kind of short, but the thing is, I'm still playing this game. Even after I beat it, I've been replaying the game again for the review. And it's been a lot of fun just kind of going through again, trying to see if I can get better at the missions. Now, it's not all peaches and cream with this game, unfortunately. There are a few drawbacks that I must mention. By the way, I am drinking a tropical fireball drink. It's pineapple coconut punch with fireball. It's actually really good. I just kind of came up with it on the fly. But anyways, just to kind of go into some of the drawbacks. Like I mentioned, there's only one weapon. Not even after you beat the game or anything like that can you unlock other weapons, which would have been a really cool thing to see. It would have been nice to see a few other guns or maybe even melee weapons to kind of mix things up in the design of the game. Mix it up in combat, allow you to play stages in a different way, you know, for example. That would have been really neat to see. Maybe a little bit of stealth would have been really cool. I mean, you have no stealth mechanics whatsoever. Like, as soon as you bust in a room, then enemies are going to, like, notice you and just start shooting at you. You know, there's not really a way to sneak up on them. Like, if you go in the room in a certain way where the enemy's backs are turned to you, you do have a little minor moment of time where you can shoot them before they can react. But I don't really consider that stealth. It's just a matter of the enemy has to turn around and then shoot you. You know, so it's not really a stealth mechanic. But something like that would have been really cool to see in this game. And I wish that there was adjustable difficulty settings. Now, the game can be difficult to play, but since the missions are extremely short, you could just keep on repeating it over and over until you succeed, you know. So a mission that might only take, going to see the band High Hell. Man, that sounds like a kick-ass band for sure. That does really sound like an awesome band. I'm guessing probably like thrash metal or something like that. Yeah, I would think a band like that would be something along the lines of Slayer. But yeah, getting back on track here. So it would be nice to see different difficulty settings in the game, because replaying missions to get the highest score is really cool, but also things that are a little more defined, like maybe having more enemies, tougher enemies, maybe having scenarios where you get killed in one hit. That kind of stuff would have been really cool to up the ante and really encourage the replay value. And then, of course, maybe just randomizing some of the enemy locations in a stage, you know. I'm not asking for like a complete roguelike experience, because this game knows what it is. It's a very focused and well thought out design game. This is a different thing from Heavy Bullets, which is all about giving you as much replayability as you want out of it, you know, with randomized missions and levels and everything like that. No, this game knows exactly what it wants to be. It just would be cool if it just gave players just a little bit of things to mix it up, if you know what I mean. So, if I had to give High Hell a score ranking, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I think this is a very well-focused game that plays almost perfectly for what it does, but it does have some stuff that leaves to be desired. You know, there are certain things that I wish this game would still do that it sadly doesn't. But I still had a lot of fun playing it, and I'm glad to see another kick-ass Devoler Digital game. They've failed to let me down. They have never let me down. Every game I played of theirs has been really fun and original and just a good time. You know, I really highly recommend anything that they publish. If they have put out a bad game, I'm not aware of what it is. you know, I never played it. As a matter of fact, I need to bust this bad boy open right here. I got a collector's edition Absolver for the PS4. I need to get that bad boy opened up sometime. But, and congratulations, of course, to Terri Vellman. Clearly, you're a very talented developer, and I'm glad that you got to... Clearly, this game was a lot of passion for you. This game was just a fun game for you to make, and it was fun for me to play, as well as many other people. So I highly recommend it for you guys. And, of course, to answer the question, is it worth it? Well, if you like what you see and you like arcade-style games that are fast-paced and can be tough but not, like, frustratingly so, then, yeah, I say High Hell is definitely worth a play, for sure. Now, last time I did this, I was going to do a live playthrough, but things kind of mucked up or whatever, so we're just going to go ahead and cut things short. I want to thank you guys very much for tuning in. If you showed up live here, and if you didn't, don't forget to drop a comment down there. I really would appreciate it. And if you guys would subscribe and share if you enjoyed this video, I would much appreciate it. So, that's all I've got time for, guys. Puck, I'm going to hit you up on Discord. But with that, Down Phoenix out.